love and the sincerity of God. And I invite you to join me to take my hand of friendship as I reach out to you now on the fourth night of our retreat. No, the third night, that's right, the third night of our retreat. And the fourth day has begun, where we look at the gift of faith, but first we need to reflect on what is spiritual integrity. It has many meanings to different people. It has a different meaning to our brother Buddhist, to our brother and sister Hindu and Sikh, to our brother and sister Jew and Christian, atheist, agnostic, pagan and Wiccan. So I would like us to come into our heart and ask our heart, our teacher, what is spiritual integrity? What does it mean for me, a light bringer of peace? What is it saying to my heart? So let us now take the third key of wellness and wholeness left to us by Francis and reiterated by little Therese. And now let us picture us putting the key into our heart, our teacher. And let us turn that key and let us allow the doves of freedom, the doves of peace, flow from our innermost sanctum of joy. And let us embrace all that we are as a child of God, a child of selfless love, a child who is not admonished, but who is welcome. And I invite you to sit with me, and together we shall understand the simplicity of the word integrity. And as we take our places, there are two spare places, and they're right in front of us. And they have an RSVP on the placemat. And I want you to invite your spiritual teacher to sit in one. And I would like you to invite the risen cosmic Christ in the other. So let us now ask our heart in the presence of the company of heaven, what does the word spiritual integrity mean for me, a light bringer of peace, an ambassador of love, a representative of the mystical heart of the Supreme? Take your time. Take your time to connect now with the rhythm of your breathing. And with each in-breath, you are breathing in your sacred in-breath, your first breath. Now hold it. And now release. Release anything that's holding you back. It could be anxiety, tension, fear, disappointment. It could be that your expectations haven't been reached or achieved. It could mean that your head center is giving you a tough time, leaving you vulnerable, fractured, discouraged, disheartened, anxious, feeling unworthy, feeling unloved. They are the symptoms of the Antichrist who takes up residence in our ego head center. But let us connect with the voices of our heart. They are always affirming voices, words that rebuild, restore, rather than destroy. As we sit, gazing at the cosmic Christ and our spiritual master, whoever that master is, we listen to some words that were chosen for this session. And the first is the words given now to my heart. Spiritual integrity for me represents absolute beauty. It represents beauty. The beauty of the divine. The beauty of the supreme. That has reclaimed every cell in my being, every thought pattern and process, and allows me live my life, honoring my truth and demonstrating it in how I walk God's talk, in how I honor the Beatitudes in my life. To try and come with an honorable heart and embrace the divine in every child of God, where there is no judgment, where there is no agenda to control, and where my simple values and beliefs are those modeled on my teacher, the Barefoot Galilean. Now you ask yourself, ask your highest self to speak to you. What does the words integrity, spiritual integrity, mean for you in how you live out your life? Because you are unique. You are not me, and I am not you. You are a unique creation, a child of love, a co-creator of God. And the words you are given will not be repeated or replicated by another child of God, because they're personal to you, as mine were personal to me. You may not agree with them, and that's okay. But that the words I was given, and I honor them. Though the voice in my head is saying, you stupid, stupid boy, you shouldn't have said that. You should have used words to impress, not make a fool of yourself. But I am a fool for Christ. But I'm not an idiot, or as we say in Ireland, I'm not an idiot. I am a fool for Christ. And what I'm going to share with you touched me very deeply after our session with our Oblate Stroke novices at 9:15 this evening, or on Saturday evening, when we had a resume reflecting on the bedtime theme for them to take with the Christ into their subconscious mind. But we were given a beautiful reading more or less minutes before we went live. And interestingly, these words are an extract from Mother Teresa of Calcutta, her beautiful book, In the Silence of the Heart. And interestingly, I've been guided to reread it for you. So I reread this for you as a gift, not because I want to hear myself rabbit on about the same thing. I hope that you can see me and hear me okay. I'm aware that one or two of you can see but not hear, and some can hear but not see. If you could just give me a word to say that you can hear and see, I will proceed. Okay, what we shall do, we shall refresh. But we talk about the loving Christ, the one who is. We talk about all that we are as a child of God. And before I read to you about Mother Teresa and what she has to say about the listening heart, let us reflect on the word integrity. What is it saying to your heart? What do you sense is happening for you right now as you hear your inner voice of spirit speak with you? Allow yourself time to listen. Allow this time to speak to your heart and listen to the voice in the silence of your soul. You owe yourself that much, don't you? Or are you far too busy to listen? Or are you far too busy to embrace silence, which for me is the umbilical cord that links my heart with that of the Supreme? And without that connection, there can be no spiritual lifeblood flowing from the Supreme into my heart. Reflect, embrace, and hear the words that are given to you in love. For they are words that are true. They are words of truth. They are not my words. So what you hear is what is given to you. But today in our modern world, we have become despiritualized. We have lost the essence of integrity because we compromise our values in order to be accepted by fair weather friends. Is that what this is about? Just listen to your heart and hear the voice of selfless love speak to you. Speak to your heart. And what is your heart saying to you? What is your heart trying to tell you? Are you afraid to listen to it? Many are. Oh, they pray for the phone to ring. They pray for someone to knock on their door rather than face and embrace their Creator God. But you are a child of God. You are a co-creator of God. And you owe it to yourself. You owe it to yourself to spend time in silence, to spend time in stillness, and embrace all that you are. Let's try it again. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath and breathe in the love of God. Breathe in that spiritual love that calls you by your name. And hear the voice of Spirit. hear the voice of the beloved call you by your name, for you are loved. Relax now. And now I'd like to share with you, my dear friends, if you can hear me, and see me, my dear friends, just let me know. But I would like to read to you this extract from this beautiful book, this beautiful reflection called Friend of Silence. Friend of Silence. And I thank you, Tom. And I thank you, my friends, for joining me this evening, this morning, in fact. God is the friend of silence. We need to find God, and He cannot be found in noise and restlessness. He cannot be found on Fifth Avenue with all that traffic and flashing lights. He cannot be found in the airport with all of the noise, the razzmatazz, but He can be found in silence. When you go to the powder room and sit quietly, see how nature, the trees and the flowers, the grass grow in perfect silence. See the stars, the moon and the sun, how they move in silence. Yes, silence gives us a new outlook on everything. We need silence to be able to touch souls. The essential thing is not what we say, but what God says to us and through us. Jesus, the barefoot Galilean, is always waiting for us in silence. In that silence, He will listen to us. There He will speak not to our ego, but to our soul. To our soul. And there we will hear His voice. Yes, I pray you are hearing it now. Interior silence is very difficult, but we must make the effort. In silence we will find new energy and true unity. The energy of God will be ours to do all the things we do and do them well. That surely is the key to Franciscan spirituality and integrity. The unity of our thought with its thoughts, the unity of our prayers with His prayers, the unity of our actions with His actions, of our life with His life. All our works will be useless until they come from within. Works which do not give the light of the cosmic Christ increases the darkness, increases our darkness, and leaves us paralyzed with fear. Let us just absorb the energy of the cosmic Christ sat before us, and let us look and listen and feel the energy and the vibrations of our spiritual master sat next to the Christ. And let us come as we are in our vulnerability. Let us come as that beloved child of God. And let us embrace the silence, which is the language of love, because it is love. And now as we close our eyes, we look across and we see the cosmic Christ, and we see His eyes, and they are piercing azure blue, And they're piercing our heart. They are touching our heart to surrender to the mystical heart of God, to surrender to the beauty of all that we are as a beloved. And as we breathe in now, we feel the touch of the Christ, the cosmic Christ. Release the chains of fear that have fed our insecurity, that had left us vulnerable and vulnerable to attack from negative forces. Let us visualize the hands of the cosmic Christ now over our heart center, over our heart chakra. And let us receive the most precious gift, the gift of healing, the gift of spiritual wellness and wholeness. Let us come as a beloved, and let us come with a sense of expectancy, because as that beloved child, we come honoring the I Am presence within us. Now let us be still. And in the silence, feel the love. And with every breath that you take, you can feel the pulse rate of the Christ in your hands, touching your heart, setting it free, entangling it from deep-rooted anxiety, from many lifetimes of abuse. My hands are on fire. I can feel and see the Christ. And I know He's touching you. I can tell He's touching you. Stay with this feeling of love. And let His love pierce you and liberate you and empower you, embrace integrity in your life, where there are no double standards, where you speak truth and represent truth, where you represent the marginalized, where you become their protector, where you become the true spirit of beauty, God's beauty, in a despiritualized world, who've lost sight of their divinity. But you haven't. You are here. Can you feel the cosmic Christ touch your heart? Can you feel the heartbeat of God? Reawaken the divine in you. Behold, hold and fold. Now listen to the voice of the beloved. Speak to you. Speak to your heart, so that your heart becomes a vibrant force that reclaims your ego and your mind that have caused your entrapment and fed your fear, indecisiveness, your recklessness, that have violated the divine in you. Reclaim your divinity now. Let the energies of the cosmic Christ set you free. Set you free. Because you are free. You were born free. You were created to be free. Because you are the beating heart of selfless love. You have become Christed. You are love. Be still now and remain in the silence of your soul as I finish, and allow the love of the cosmic Christ empower you. Empower you live a loved life, a fulfilled life, a life where you are in peace and joy, in harmony with simplicity, where integrity allows you trust the providence of God. And we go forward now into our fourth day, where we look at the gift of faith. This is the fourth key of Franciscan spirituality, which is our topic when we meet again.